Hey folks, KILT-MAN here, KILT-MAN at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very well. Now, Kilty's got his DPM on, his old disrupted pattern material combat smock from many years ago when he served in the Royal Marines. But what's underneath? What lurks beneath the camouflage? It's a Werewolf of London. Yes, that's the original Werewolf of London. I reviewed the movie only recently, in depth. I gave it some bite. So, what are we on about now? In a year, 2024 to be precise, of zombies coming back, vampires really giving it loads, and werewolves are back in vogue massively. There's been a few films already with werewolves, and we've got a few more to come. We have Werewolves itself with Frank Grillo in December, and we have Wolfman from Blumhouse in January. Okay, but there's other werewolf movies in development, including the one we're going to talk about. But what's this then? Remember, way back in the early 2000s, we had Dog Soldiers. A classic, a cult favourite, Dog Soldiers. A bunch of British squaddies up in the Highlands. They didn't film it in Scotland. They filmed it, I think, in Poland, if I remember rightly, for tax reasons. And they encounter some snarly, 7-foot-tall, nasty beasties. Kind of like the howling werewolves, but not quite as frightening. I've always said this about Dog Soldiers. I love the film. I think it's fantastic. It's great. Squaddies versus werewolves. It's just outstanding idea. But what I didn't like about it was the lassie dog heads they had. Yes, you had ballet dancers, on it. Those blades to give them the dog leg, elevate their height. Yes, you had all that. But you gave them cute, lovely lassie dog heads. What the hell was that about? Yes, they might have great big fangs on them, like literally that big, drenched in gore, and they're shredding people left, right, and centre. But they're just not frightening. My own lycanthrope is there, scratching herself and rattling her collar. But she's there, watching guard. Because there is actually, as I speak, there was quite a large moon tonight, which is a bit weird because we had almost a full moon the other night through the fog, and I thought, well, the full moon phase is gone, but no, it's rather large and bright tonight, and there's snow in the forecast. Snow, real life snow. It's going to hit the UK big time, so they say. It comes down as slush, and you're just like wading through this white muck. It's not snow. You can't make snow angels. You can't do anything in it. It's just, you can drown in this stuff. It's horrible. Pure slushy slushness from Slushville. But Dog Soldiers became a cult phenomenon, and it's a great werewolf movie. It's a great action movie. And Neil Marshall, British director, filmmaker Neil Marshall, made it, and made his name as well. And he went on to do The Descent, which was, The Descent's a better film, I'll be honest, but obviously I prefer Dog Soldiers. It's soldiers and werewolves, so that's got everything I want. It's ticked all the right boxes. But The Descent, which is a pure female-led movie, Descent cemented Neil Marshall's rise to critical horror acclaim, the great new British hope, with great shocks, twists, real genuine suspense, and gore-drenched, and fantastic film. And then he made Doomsday. Fame and power and acclaim went to his head, and he made Doomsday, which was a pile of shit, I'll be honest. It's Mad Max, it's Escape from New York, it's Conan, it's Excalibur, it's fucking, all his favourite movies, he's wrapped into some post-apocalyptic action extravaganza, which didn't work. For me, you may like it, but I thought it was absolute tripe. Then he made Centurion, which I loved, and I have reviewed on the channel as well, and I'm a massive fan of that movie. That was great. That was his retaliation to Gladiator, his answer to Gladiator, because everyone was doing sword and sandal movies at that time, and his was a pure, stripped to the bone action movie, and I actually really enjoy it. But then, what did he do after that? Well, Hellboy. Well, he did some TV stuff. Spent many years doing TV episodes. Game of Thrones, quite acclaimed as well. I think he was nominated for awards for the Game of Thrones episodes he did. I think so. Hellboy was that 2019 with David Harbour taking over from Ron Perlman, and it's naff. But I do enjoy a lot of it. Although he got another award for it, a Golden Raspberry, because everyone else apart from me hated the movie. I liked elements of it because it was Hellboy. Hellboy's my favourite Hellboy story, The Wild Hunt, is in this. And Stephen Graham, Scouse actor, local lad, was brilliant because he kept his Scouse accent as a devilish goblin, imp, troll, demon, fucking thing, and he kept his foul-mouthed Scouse accent, and I actually really enjoyed that element. But the film itself falls apart big time. And then, what did Neil Marshall do? He met actress Charlotte Kirk, who he now lives with in LA, and he made, well, to date, 2 films with her: The Reckoning, sort of Dark Ages witchcraft, purgatory, and a witch hunt movie, which is rubbish, by the way, and The Lair. I have discussed The Lair before, and it's like where are we? We're in Afghanistan. It's squaddies again, but with Charlotte Kerr starring as the kick-ass lead squaddie. And they encounter something really bizarre in some old dungeon lair bunker thing, which is just shite. And it's the worst movie I've seen for a long time. I literally hated every single frame of that movie. Now, that's not to say that Neil Marshall is not a good director. He clearly is. Dog Soldiers has tension, suspense, action, great witty banter between a great ensemble cast. So Neil Marshall can marshal a large group of actors together, and he can do it really well. He did it again in The Descent. Doomsday just went too far beyond, and he lost track of it all, and it was just throwing in all these elements that you love from other movies, but thinking that we're all going to go along with that. Well, I didn't. I got bored shitless. And from that point onwards, he just seems to have gone like that. And especially since he met Charlotte Kirk, sounds like I'm really doing a right dirty on him there, doesn't it? But I don't give a shit. Once you met her, mate, and you put her into your movies, you fell under her thrall, and you put her in starring roles. She's crap. She can't act. She's not a fucking heroine, a kick-ass Sarah Connor. She's not. So stop thinking that she is. Get her out your movies and get back to what you did before, which is what he's been trying to do. Dog Soldiers 2, Dog Soldiers Underdogs, Dog Soldiers Fresh Meat. It's had various different titles for its sequel. Of course, yeah, I know. Pretty much everyone dies in Dog Soldiers. But the idea the film became a huge cult favourite. So obviously, success, you must do another one. Yeah, that's what Hollywood does. And Neil Marshall was like, I'm on board. I'll do it. I'll do another one. His version was going to be called Underdogs, and it was going to be not 1 but 2 sequels. So yes, the trilogy. How many times on this channel have I belaboured the point of people, Blumhouse usually, going like, well, this is the first of a trilogy. Don't make those claims until your first film has been a success. Yeah, Blumhouse with Halloween 2018, big success. A reasonable film, really bad bad delivery, and very super stupid shock with Dr. Sartain, which I fucking ruthlessly hated. And then they made Halloween Kills, and then they made Halloween Ends, and then they tried to do the same thing again with The Exorcist. Well, thank Christ, The Exorcist, thank Christ, thank the Lord, thank God you fought back. You know, the devil, you know, no, the power of Christ compels you to stop making these shit movies. And they did. And they fired that director, whose name I will never mention again on this channel, because I hate him with a vengeance. Cheers, John. But their trilogy stopped right there with a terrible, terrible Exorcist movie. They are going forward with a different director and different story ideas. But, you know, learn your lesson and just fuck off, Blumhouse. You are shit. But Neil Marshall didn't have the rights to make another Dog Soldiers movie. An American company called Dash have the rights to it. And Alan something or other, I forgot his name now. Did I write it down? And in my wisdom, I did not. Alan somebody owns the rights to Dog Soldiers with his company Dash. And for years and years, Neil Marshall and his producer at the time, Christopher Figg, have been trying to get a deal done to get the rights back so they can make their own sequel, which he'd written. You know, I've got a sequel in mind, I can do this. And I've got another film, a trilogy, Kappa. I can do all this. For years and years and years and years and years, it went nowhere. And then the company Dash just disappeared. So they were getting no answers to their emails, no answers to their phone calls. Dash are gone. Dash had made a dash and they're gone. And they own the rights to Dog Soldiers. So Neil Marshall cannot make a Dog Soldiers sequel, which he always wanted to do, you know, and he teased for years and years and years. How many times am I going to say years and years and years? Probably for the next few years and years and years and years. But he can't do it now. And he posted it on Instagram a few days ago, telling us all the woes of like trying to get this deal done to get the rights back, and it's all gone to nothing. And he said it's wasted so many years of his life. But also Chris Figg, who was a producer, put a lot of money into it for legal fees, fighting, you know, to get this deal done and to get the rights back. And he's got nothing to show for it now. It's one of those horrible tales of woe of Hollywood. And my heart does go out to him, because he clearly loves Dog Soldiers. He knows there's a massive fan base out there, but he has a huge love and respect for the movie that he made, which put him on the map, and he wants to do more. And of course, you know me and Werewolves, we're like that. Me and the lycanthropic clan, the one and the same. And so he's pissed off. So he put that post on Instagram, and then realised, oh shit, I've massively pissed off an enormous amount of people, because who are waiting for news, positive news about Dog Soldiers sequel, and I've just pissed on their parade. So he went like, well, the next day, I'll read out what he said the next day. He said, since I dropped such a clanger last night, I thought I'd give fans a little moonlight at the end of the tunnel today. As I hinted at in a few of my comments, while I do not have the rights to make a Dog Soldiers sequel, there's nothing to stop me making another werewolf movie. Of course there isn't. Which is exactly what I intend to do. It's early days, and I'm not giving away any plot details just yet. The plan is to bring as many of the original team back for this as possible, and then all we need is the money to make it. Okay, well, I'm sure he'll get the money to make it. Bring as many of the original team back. Well, they pretty much all died. They all died, did they not? It's just what's his name? Kevin McKidd, Cooper, who survives. But a different story, a different werewolf movie. It's got a title, and it's called The Werewolves of London. Ta-da! Werewolf of London. Again, as I said. And of course, there is that great 1978 song, which is based on that movie. I discussed all this by Warren Zevon. Is it Warren Zevon? Yeah, Warren Zevon. 1978, Werewolves of London. Ow! And it's a classic, sort of jokey song. It was just an experiment. It's a bit of fun, but it became a big hit. And it was based on Warren Zevon's collaborator, other musician and a producer, had seen, like the night before, the original 1935 Werewolf of London. And he went, why don't we write a song about that? And he was like, what the hell? What do you mean? So they did cobble together the lyrics and put a song together, and it got out there and became a big success. Werewolves of London. So Neil Marshall now is going to, his new movie, hush hush, under wraps, no plot details. It's called Werewolves of London, and he's going to try to bring back the team from the first movie. I mean, behind the scenes, the camera people, the music. Well, we'll talk about the music in a minute. He says, turning up the soundtrack to Dog Soldiers. It's a wonderful score, wonderful score. But the cast all got killed off, so they can't be returning unless they're coming. Well, they can't be coming back as werewolves because they were eaten, they were shredded, they were ripped to bits. Spoony. It's like, I hope I give you the shits. I know. So, you know, but I think he means he's going to bring back the cast and crew. Werewolves of London. Where could we go with that? He was going to bring back a team of people. Now, he likes to have an ensemble cast, a team of professionals. They are soldiers in the first movie. In The Descent, they're rock climbers and cave searchers, spelunkies, you know, whatever they call them, spelunkers, and Centurion Roman soldiers, like a team who are professionals at what they do. So, Werewolves of London, where do you think they're going to go with that? So, I've got a horrible feeling, and it could still work, that they're going to be firearms squad, Met Police firearms squad, which I think if he does that will cause a few problems because they're not held in high esteem at all. I have every respect for the boys in blue that carry firearms and shouldn't have to discharge their weapons and then face criminal charges whilst they try to save people's lives and protect the law, you know, uphold the law. We're getting this all the time in the UK now. Having said that, the firearms squad have, sadly, a lot of rapists, a lot of murderers, a lot of really bad GBH crew have been in the firearms squad and have come unstuck and been outed and then arrested. It's put them in a really bad light. But Neil Marshall will want a team like that to be going against the Werewolves of London. Surely. He likes action. He loves to have action and gunplay. So it's going to be in there. He's not one for kitchen sink dramas and people who are just everyday bods going about their business and then encountering the unusual. He doesn't do that. So I'm thinking it's going to be Met Firearms Squad. I don't know. Or is it going to be SAS? I mean, with Dog Soldiers, he played around. They're called Dog Soldiers, which is a great title, but it doesn't really make any sense. The Dog Soldiers were Comanche warriors, Native American warriors. and the history of those guys is phenomenal. But dog soldiers, they had and it wasn't even a dog; it was a fox that's on their patch. I've got the patch as well, but it looks great, but it's clearly not a fucking dog, you know. And never once did they drop the term dog soldiers in the movie either. So it's like, what the hell? But it just sounds great. And like, they're not even fighting dogs, they're fighting wolves, you know. You've got canine dogs, lupine wolves. And these are lycanthropic wolves. So it kind of catchy title, but doesn't really make any sense. So, I love this track, by the way. We'll talk about the score for Dog Soldiers in a bit, but where's he going to go with it? He's clearly got the story, got a bloody big good idea for it. Where are we going to go? London. Are we talking modern London? I presume so. We've had strippers versus werewolves in London, modern day London, there was a slew of these things. There was Cockneys versus zombies came out at the same time, and there was other ones as well. But strippers versus werewolves, actually, it was good fun, cheesy as fuck, but meant to be. A great soundtrack. Duran Duran, Hungry Like the Wolf. Although it wasn't them playing it, it was a remixed cover version that played in the movie. But still, it was fun. I embraced that at the time. So if Neil Marshall can come up with something as fun and gory and as action-packed as that, and his own dog soldiers, then hey, I'm up for it. Please don't put Charlotte Kirk in it. Don't, because you will instantly destroy your movie. I know, mate. Look, we all fall for attractive women. Well, not all of us, you know, but you know, a lot of us do, and you definitely seem to have been under her thrall. For the Reckoning and the Lair, you put her front centre stage, and you really put all the fucking lights on her, and she can't act. She's rubbish, and she ruined those two movies. The Lair is a wretched movie, and from what I've read, he allowed her to produce and to change a lot of what that film was meant to be. I want to do this. I want to be in charge of that. I want the big slow motion walk with all the other heroes, which is the worst thing I have ever seen. Oh God, how many movies have the heroic slow motion, you know, walk towards camera with explosions and flames behind them? In The Lair, he does it for like literally about 2 or 3 minutes. It takes them that, he films them for that long, walking in slow-mo, and it's diabolical. It's an absolute travesty of filmmaking. And yet, this is the guy that got us all so excited and worked up about Dog Soldiers, about a bunch of really rather naff squaddies, let's be honest. But Sean Pertwee, come on. Liam Cunningham, who has it. I love the transformation because they didn't have the money to make a proper transformation. So he goes behind the table and his fingers become claws and he comes up as a... You don't see the transformation. A bit of yellow contact lenses initially, and then that's it. We don't see any metamorph transformation. What's that fucking word? Metamorphosis. Metamorphication. You know that word I mean. Begins with M. It's got lots of F's and H's in it as well. But it was so naff. But yeah, okay, I understand. You can't afford to do it, but you did it brilliantly. It was like a stage show. That's how you do it on stage. You know, like you go under a desk, you put a mask on, and you go, ah! So, a Dog Soldiers sequel is not going to come to us via Neil Marshall. Now, this other guy with the Dash Productions, or whatever they're called, who has done a runner, seemingly done a runner, bit horrible that. And like Neil Marshall, very understandably, is very aggrieved by this. He created dog soldiers. This is the whole thing about distribution rights and copyright. Once you make a movie and you sell your idea to a studio, right? You make it, but we own it, and this is the problem he's got now. I've written books and in the past and won awards as well, and but to not have the rights to your own stories, publishing is a bit different. Books is a different thing, but it does encounter the same sort of trials and tribulations, and but to not own the rights to your own material. Like, look at songwriters. You know, this is what's happening now with like streaming and everything. They don't own any rights to anything at all. They make nothing out of their own creative endeavour, and like that's a sickener, that is. And Neil Marshall must be, and I genuinely, my heart goes out to him because I would be absolutely livid. And I think he's probably gone through so many trysts and twists and turns that he's just gone like, oh, screw it. We're not, they've gone, they've disappeared, they've gone off the map. So, but fuck it. I can't make a Dog Soldiers sequel, but I can make another werewolf movie. I'm with you, pal. I'm with you. I know I've been disparaging about some of your movies, but this is going back to your roots, and I think you could do it. I hope this really works and does get made. He does say, which is the whole thing at the end of it, the plan is to bring as many of the original team back, yeah, for this as possible, and then all we need is the money to make it. Oh, the money to make it. Have you not got enough clout to get that financial backing already? You know, there's so many people who do Kickstarter things, and he can't be in that league. He can't be that lower tier now to have to do a Kickstarter. But you know, you've got to look for like financiers. You've got to look for like people who are going to put money in and fund your production. I think you'll get that. I do. Let's look at the cast who he could be bringing back. Sean Pertwee, Kevin McKidd, who of course was outstanding in Father Ted as a priest when he gets stuck in the women's lingerie department and they're trying to get themselves out of there, and it's like a Vietnam movie but in a women's lingerie department. A bunch of priests are stuck there with bras and knickers, panties, stockings. Calm down, KILT-MAN. And they can't be seen in there, and they try to steal themselves, and they're going to make their getaway, and it's brilliantly done as a platoon in the jungle trying to exfil, and Kevin McKidd's in that, and he's big as well, like. And of course Kevin McKidd is Private Cooper, who fails the Special Forces training because he won't kill a dog. I didn't say I couldn't kill a dog, sir. I said I won't kill that dog, you know. And he's took down. They're not SAS. We're never told they're SAS. And it's Neil Marshall's take on Black Ops and Special Forces in the UK, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I love things to be factual and like at least have a basis in stuff. And I'm like, who the hell are these guys? It just doesn't make any sense. But doesn't matter. And Liam Cunningham as Ryan, Captain Richard Ryan, who fails Cooper because he won't kill the dog, becomes the bastard, you know, at the end. And you got the twist as well. Megan is the who saves them from the werewolves in the forest and takes them to the farmhouse, but she's one of the werewolves as well. It's a nice twist. It's not done very well. I will review Dog Soldiers. I've promised many people over the last few years that I will cover it. I haven't done it as yet, but I will. There's a lot of fun to be had with Dog Soldiers. It's exactly what someone like myself and almost certainly a lot of you were craving. We've got armed to the teeth squaddies fighting werewolves. It's perfect, and he does the set pieces superbly as well. Let's talk about the music to Dog Soldiers right now. It's a brilliant score. I will now show you the CD release of it. Okay. A bitch of a werewolf movie, 5 stars. That's from Empire, I think, or sort of whatever it is. I can't quite read that now. Dog soldiers, 6 men, full moon, no chance. A squaddy there with the shadow becoming a huge looming werewolf, 7 foot tall, well, a lot bigger than that in the shadow. Original soundtrack. What can't you see on that cover? Give me a bit of time. The composer's name. It ain't there. Why? Look on the side. It just says Dog Soldiers and the label. Doesn't say who composed it. You go on the back. Lovely image of the silhouetted werewolf going through the trees there. And you've got the track listing. And then you have the movie credits. If you cast your eye through that, you will see the composer's name. Mark Thomas. You open CD case and you get a rather lovely inlay card of liner notes with a huge, that much, written by Neil Marshall, director and writer and creator of Dog Soldiers. And he talks about how great the music is. And he basically just calls the composer Mark. The composer for Dog Soldiers is a guy called Mark Thomas, whose name appears only there. And then if you look closely, very closely, on one of these pages, it does say music composed by Mark Thomas. And you've got like a nice array of our squaddies there. A nice image of the 7 foot tall lassie, Liam Cunningham with yellow scleral lenses. And just, some good imagery. Why is Mark Thomas's name not on the front cover of that? You see, now, I'm beginning to think that there is a lot more to the story of the production of Dog Soldiers than meets the eye. I'm looking behind you guys, there is at least 300 CDs there. There's over 1,000 there in the old fireplace there. There's thousands more behind here in different drawers and cabinets and little plastic, fucking stupid things where you put them in like that and then you put them in too many and you can't get the fucking things out again. And the rest of the house has thousands and thousands more. And I can't think of a single CD soundtrack that I've got which does not have the composer's name on the front cover. That is a fucking severe omission. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It doesn't make no sense to me, boy. And Mark Thomas's score is wonderful. I'm gonna play again. I think my favourite track, which is I have forgotten the track. What number is it again? Right. Oh. This is when they realise that they find the remains of Special Forces, the Special Ops, Black Ops team, and Ryan's, Liam Cunningham was all like, they tore him to pieces before my very eyes. I don't know what accent I gave him there, but fucking, he's all over this show. And we had blanks before, it was a training mission. Now we lock and load with live ammo. If Little Miss Red Riding Hood comes up, chin the bitch, and so they know there's something out there, and then they get pursued through the woods. And this is them fighting, move and cover, and try and find a defensive position. They lose one guy during this, and I think it's is it Bruce Campbell? You've got what's his name? You've got one called Bruce, played by Thomas Lockyer, and his cast name is Bruce Campbell. I love shit like that. I love that. You've got Sean Pertwee as Sergeant Wells, Kevin McKidd as Cooper, you've got Liam Cunningham as Ryan, you've got the great Darren Morfitt as Spoonie, It's fucking great. Chris Robson as Joe, who's into the footy. Who's not into the fucking footy? Speaking of footy, Neil Marshall is a dead ringer for Liverpool, ex-Liverpool manager Rafa Benitez. Google it, check him out. Neil, you are Rafa, right? Leslie Simpson is Terry. I think he's the one who throws up. He throws up on Liam Cunningham's head. And Liam Cunningham goes like, "That's bloody charming, that is." And Emma Cleesby is Megan. I don't like her actually in the movie at all. I don't think she's a good actress. Now, I've said about Charlotte Kirk, his missus, who he puts into movies and falls. She'll change things. I know that she did that for The Lair. I know she did that, and he went along with it. But he had the all-female cast of The Descent, and they were all brilliant. So it's not that he can't direct women and get good performances out of them. He can, but he did it way back. So, Werewolves of London from Neil Marshall. Are we looking forward to it? Well, I am. I've been disparaging about some of Marshall's stuff. He is hit and miss, without a doubt. He's a passionate filmmaker though, and like Doomsday, should I cut him some slack? Because he just, I love Escape from New York, I love Mad Max, I love Excalibur, I'm going to put everything into my post-apocalyptic movie. I'm going to do it all. I can cut him some slack. But then again, that's something that you watch for yourself. Don't put it out there for the masses, because that's a love letter that you're doing there to your own favourite movies. That's your vision should be something entirely your own. Well, that's just me. That's how I would do it. But a lot of people love it. I've got friends who massively slaver over Doomsday, and we've had really heated debates over it as well. I'm like, it's shit. I'm like, oh my god, that's meant to be Hadrian's Wall. I'm like, for fuck's sake, it's filmed in South Africa, for God's sake. It looks nothing like Scotland. Nothing at all. Right, I'm going to play something else. I'm going to go on to, because they do Claire de Lune in this, which is brilliant. Now, where the hell is that track? See, again, I'm missing the PC with the, I could just go straight to whatever, and then go to something else and do it in nanoseconds. Now I've got to go, where is it? And I've got to go and do on this fucking old CD player. 18, right. Hang on, is it? Shit, no, it's 16. And it's a lovely little moment in the movie as well, which kind of breaks up all the tension. It's eerie, but it's beautiful, and you hear it in its entirety here. Count Debussy. And Count Debussy's Engulfed Cathedral would appear in John Carpenter's Escape from New York as well. Although, it's slightly manipulated. So would Werewolves of London be an adaptation of Warren Zevon's 78 pop song? If you can get that cast back, that would be an absolute winner, because we want to see that cast back. Let's be honest, Darren Morfitt has done a lot of other things. Obviously, Kevin McKidd's done a lot of things as well. But the rest, I don't know. Well, Sean Pertwee. Is Sean Pertwee doomed to die in this movie? He dies in every fucking thing else, doesn't he? I know. He's the human equivalent of a cute dog in a film. Uh-oh, cute dog. Gonna die. Sean Pertwee, gonna die. It is lovely, isn't it? It's just that time of the month. I think that's in a great movie, that twist was so poorly delivered, and I think she's terrible as well at doing it. You know, they're not trying to break in, they're already here, it's their house, isn't it? You know, well, it wasn't a massive surprise, and does it change anything at all? Oh, it's their house, and you're like Goldilocks, and you've broken in, so they're gonna get you. They're gonna fucking get you anyway. Isn't it lovely? And it's nice to have something like this whilst we're talking about a film which is about people getting shredded, disemboweled and devoured. You're behind me, aren't you? Oh, let's fucking have you. They are a great bunch. There's a couple of fucking loose cannons in there who are just not experienced. But Spoonie and oh shit, Joe, fucking give it loads. Balls of British steel. He's talking about Rorke's Drift, Spoonie. I hope I give you the shits as his fucking thing is staring. And I'll be honest with you, his final moments in the kitchen, he's throwing everything, probably including the kitchen sink, at the werewolf that's coming at him. He's going absolutely insane with fear and rage. He does that really, really well. I think we're going to have a proper Dog Soldiers session. As I say, I've been asked to do it many times. I think we should do it, shouldn't we? Could a bunch of squaddies take out a pack of 7 foot tall balletic werewolves with lassie dog heads? Yeah. Yes, they fucking could. Fully auto, you're going to take these things apart. But then they can regenerate, can't they? Isn't it gorgeous? And I think we'll end with this. So, Werewolves of London. Bring it on. Bring it on. Neil, please. You'll get the funding for it. Just do it. It's a huge fan base there. No one's going to just say no to you, surely. I don't know how Hollywood works, but I don't really think a Dog Soldiers sequel would actually be necessary, if I'm being bluntly honest. I know for part 3, again, he envisaged a trilogy. After the big success of Dog Soldiers, he thought, I'll do another one. We could actually make 3 movies out of it. And it's meant to be Megan's DNA was going to be the catalyst for the 3rd part of the trilogy capper about her DNA. So obviously it would be found and then leaked, and they create a weaponized werewolf. I think the first sequel was meant to be that the team, hang on a minute, let's see if I can get this right, because there's different versions, that a special forces team of werewolves are out there as well. They are special forces, but they genuinely are lycanthropes. If you were a fucking werewolf and they and the British Army or the US or whoever recruited you, you'd be like, fuck off, I don't need you. Do my own thing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I can rip you to pieces in the blink of an eye. So fuck off, you know. So why would a bunch of werewolves actually want to work for any government, any military looking unit? Just wouldn't do it. I'm my own thing, I'm my own boss, I'm a fucking wild bastard. No. I know. Robert R. McCammon wrote The Wolf's Hour, where they had a Larry Talbot type character who, in the Second World War, gets given a mission to go deep behind enemy lines, kill Nazis, and he is a wolf man. And it's because of his abilities that they recruit him to do it. I kind of get that. But why would a bunch of werewolves want to act together? Because the very fact that you turn into a ravenous beast means that you're not going to be following fucking orders, are you? I don't know. What else was there? There was Full Eclipse with oh shit, what's his name? Mario Van Peebles. That's a terrible name. Mario Van is pretty good, but then you got Peebles at the end of it. Mario Van Peebles. He's in Heartbreak Ridge and Exterminator 2. Fucking terrible Exterminator 2. But Full Eclipse with oh god, the guy from Passion of 57, the bad guy, for his name now. They are a squad of hyper elite LAPD who happen to be werewolves. Oh Jesus Christ. And you got that blonde bince from the UK. Oh, I forgot her fucking name now. The one with fried egg nipples in Lethal Weapon 2. You know what I mean. I can't remember her name though. She's a fucking werewolf as well. Let's go to another action track. Yeah, okay. Mr. Kentucky Fudge here is suited and booted and bedecked with the correct armaments. Because our dog soldiers, when they stumble across the remains, well, the shredded remains, the giblets of the Black Ops Special Forces team under Captain Richard Ryan, who has survived, or has he? You know, and right, lock and load. They get better weaponry than the shit they have been carrying, and so there's some good firepower in the movie as well. A few Brownings are in there, Heckler and Koch's in there as well, as you can see. MP5A2s, I think they are. These things are important. I'll watch your movies and they go like, oh, they've got that. Would they have that weapon? Would they? Well, you know, in the case of dog soldiers, yes, they would. The special ops team would have those weapons, and they get them from their remains. They ripped them to pieces. So yeah, Mark Thomas composed this. Why is his name not on that CD? Why? When Neil Marshall mentioned it, he just Mark's score, doesn't give his full name. Why? And he praises it. Oh, it's good. It's good what he says. But it seems like, are you too afraid to give this guy's full name? Only in little tiny small print do you see his name. And he uses the bodrum and so a bit of Celtic sort of flavour. It's meant to be in the Highlands. Oh yeah, it's going to kick in now. The bodrum's here. fucking yes. Last stand. Oh fuck. Fuck you. The weird thing is, I love werewolves, so I hate seeing werewolves getting killed as well. Because my heart of hearts, I want to be one of them. Given the choice, you know, what would you rather be, vampire, werewolf? We will discuss this in a future episode. So Mark Thomas, loving your score, mate, loving it. Big shout out to you, mate. I've always loved this score. Dead exciting. Militaristic, but with a sort of folky element to it. I've been out, I've had whiskey in the boozer. There's no whiskey in the hizzy again. Oh, you get that sort of false climax there. Anyway, folks, there you go. There will be no official Dog Soldiers sequel from Neil Marshall. That isn't to say that these other cunts who've got the rights will not do their own. Why are they hidden? Why have they gone under the radar, which they have done? Rude, if nothing else. Are they going to do their own thing? Maybe they are. Nasty that, nasty. But Neil Marshall, come on now, sir. Werewolves of London, make it big, make it bold, make it bloody, and you will. You will. Can you imagine me delivering a rebel, rousing, speech? We're gonna take back our country. We're gonna do this. We're gonna like, oh, shut up. You're an old crock. You're a drunk. Fuck off. No, I think Werewolves of London could be great, and we've got so many more werewolf movies in the offing. You've got Werewolves, Frank Grillo, as I said. You've got the Blumhouse thing. Yes. You've got the Pierce Brosnan with his own son. I think it's Sean Brosnan, who's directing a werewolf movie with his dad starring in it as a werewolf hunter. And you got this. It's great that all these classic monsters are just not dying. No one's fed up with them. They've had a huge resurgence. Isn't that great? Isn't that something massively heartwarming about that? That our old monsters. Guillermo del Toro has just completed his own version of Frankenstein. He filmed a lot of it in Glasgow. Oh, Glasgow, yeah. And that's done. So that's heading our way. So Frankenstein, another classic, is coming out again. Wow, there's a reason why the old stalwarts keep coming back, because they're fucking unbeatable. They're classics because they are so indelible in our psyche, in our culture, in movies and in literature, that you can't stamp them out, and you can do multiple re-evaluations, modifications, and your own take upon it. But people still, after a few years, go back and like, here's my adaptation of the original story or the original movie, as in the Wolfman. But you've got Creature of Black Lagoon, that's coming out again. Them, the Giant Ants movie, them, exclamation mark, is coming out. Well, Michael Giacchino, composer turned film director, is meant to be doing that. Although I've reported on it a couple of times and no more news. Damn it. God damn it. And Dog Soldiers had the fresh meat version was from 2008, 2009 onwards to about 2014, 15 was on the books, off the books, on the books. It kept getting mentioned again and then just fucking fizzled out. And that wasn't Neil Marshall's sequel. It was Underdogs. That's drums and snares. Oh. And this is the finale. Boom. Snares. It's great, isn't it? We will do Dog Soldiers proper justice. Although I just have done, haven't I, really? But we'll do it again in full, in-depth, gory, glorified detail. So, folks, I have been always shouting KILT-MAN. Please, in the meantime, when it's ever like, ooh, 7 foot tall werewolves in between time, please keep it Kiltic, keep it Celtic, and I'm going to see you all reunite.